pirates and craft cocktail lovers. This is Bourbon Bill with Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. This is where the drinks are wild and the tales are even wilder. We mix drinks, history, and we throw in some fun along the way. Today's tale of adventure is the Elusive Rum Chata. It's the best rum chata homemade version you'll ever have. But if I'm going to tell you the secret, you got to do just one little thing for me. Go ahead and hit that subscribe, like, and hit that notify bell so you're the first one to know when we hoist up new adventures to this channel. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Elusive Rum Chata. Now, you say, is this like Bailey's Irish Cream? Not exactly, but since we're on that topic, take a look at our video on how to make moonshine Bailey's Irish Cream at home. Bailey's Irish Cream is made with whiskey, and rum chata is made with what? Of course, rum, pirate fuel. So let's talk a little bit about how rum chata came to be. Now listen closely, my hearties, as I convey the legend of the Elusive Rum Chata. It all started on a pirate ship in the Caribbean. As the legend goes, Bootleg Minnie was tired of the harsh rums they were stealing from English ships. She searched high and low and found just the right ingredients to soften the rum and concoct this decadent delight. Oh yeah, it could have happened that way, but actually it's been around since 2009. Now, Bootleg Minnie has pointed out to me that there are certain things that I say on a regular basis, like a lot. So my suggestion is make a game out of it. You know what kind of game I'm talking about. But at any rate, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is pillage the fridge. You're going to need dark rum, heavy cream, whole milk, simple syrup, cinnamon, and nutmeg. You can go ahead and pause this video right now and go run to the fridge and get those ingredients and we can make it together. Or we can just go right ahead and get right to it. Alright, the first ingredient is rum. Today we're using Captain Morgan's Spice Rum, and we need 2 cups. None of that sissy stuff. 2 cups of dark rum, you know, and make sure it's a decent rum because good ingredients make for a better product. Now I'm going to take a mixing bowl. Now, if you go out and you search for recipes, you know, you could just put it right in the jar or you could just put it in a blender. I like this little bowl. It's old as dirt, but it has this little spout, makes it easier for pouring later. So we'll go ahead and put in 2 cups of rum. We're going to add in 2 cups of heavy cream. And you know what? It's time for Talk Like a Pirate. We'll be right back.
Hey mateys, it's time to learn to talk like a pirate.
We use a lot of phrases sometimes and we don't always understand how they came to be. Today's phrase is 3 sheets to the wind. Now, as most of you know, 3 sheets to the wind, if we refer to that in somebody, we usually assume that they're drunk or acting like a drunkard. But actually, a lot of the phrases that we get today come from the seafaring community. In days of old, square-rigged ships would often have 3 sails on a mast, and the ropes that control the sails are called sheets or sheet lines. So if the sheets were to the wind, that meant that the ship was out of control. And that's your lesson today on how to talk like a pirate. Back to the show. See, the show is informative and entertaining, if nothing else. So, next on the list is 1 cup of whole milk. Just pour that right in. Add that to the mix. Okay, now to sweeten this a little bit, we're going to add in simple syrup. Today we're using Master of Mix's simple syrup, but you can just as easily make this at home. But we use this here in the bar, and it's great, and we like the bottle too. So 1 cup of that, throw that in. Right there. And now, here's the thing about Bailey's versus rumchata. You know, a lot of people think they're very similar. And like I said, Bailey's is whiskey-based, rumchata is rum-based, obviously, based on the name. But there are a couple of other differences too. Bailey's Irish Cream actually has more chocolate flavor, whereas rumchata actually is more cinnamon flavored. So we're going to start adding some of those spices from the islands in now. So for this, we need a teaspoon of cinnamon. Just add that right in. If you get a little extra in, it doesn't hurt. And we use Badia brand spices because they're gluten-free. You can find them in just about any grocery store. All right, the last ingredient comes, from, again, the island of the spices, which is typically Grenada. We're going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Just add that right in. And what's that, Bootleg Minnie? It's time for the pirate joke of the day. We'll be right back. Hey, Bootleg Minnie, do you know what time it is?
I don't know. What time is it?
Time for the pirate joke of the day. Now, today's joke is, how much does it cost for a pirate to get his ears pierced?
How much does it cost for a pirate to get his ear pierced?
Buccaneer!
I'm going to have to drink a lot of rum for that.
Back to the show. Yeah, that's why we asked you to subscribe earlier in the show. I hope you like these. All right, the next thing we're going to do is just take our whisk and just make sure that we mix all this up evenly and get it in. Some people will use a blender. I just prefer a whisk, and that way I have a little more control over it. At least with my blender, it tends to settle the spices at the bottom. All right, you're going to need a couple of mason jars. Get this out of the way. All right, now any kind of mason jar will do. You can actually get mason jars in 750 milliliters, so it mimics a fifth, similar to what you see with Old Smoky Moonshine. These just happen to be just plain old quart jars. Now, there are 2 kinds of lids. There's Grandma's lid, it's a 2-piece lid that you have seen forever. I have found these single piece lids that have a white food liner in them. This makes a fantastic gift, and it's better for presentation with these single piece lids. It's just a little easier for people to get them on, because with the 2-piece lids, sometimes you have to pry off that inner liner. So this works pretty well. So all we have to do now is just pour it in the jar. Now, if you were counting, there's a little bit more than what will fit in one jar. That's actually intentional. And we'll pour all that in, and look right there. Got enough for 2. One to have now and 1 to share. So the only thing that remains is just putting these in the fridge. But I think I'm going to go enjoy some of this right now. And I hope you enjoyed our little adventure of the elusive rum chata. So may all the wind be at your back and all your rum be spiced. This is Bourbon Bill with Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. Bon voyage and cheers.